This is...
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now a handoff looking right. Oh, what a juke into space. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That good for 19 and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Throwing on first down. Yoder. Pass incomplete. They'll look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I would have loved to have been in their meetings this week and hear that grizzled old defensive coordinator talk about, well, you did okay, guys. We did all right. Hold them to 13 was pretty good, but this week, I expected to be less than that.
I'm going to need to hear that a lot more often. I don't know what it was, but I liked it.
Here we go now. 3-19.
To throw again. Yoder. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block it, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. Yoder. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Yoder throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And his kick here is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago: 5 catches, 58 yards, and a score.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here we go. Blue line it.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get stepped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
And the mantra of this unit, get to the football. Fly to the ball carrier. And you know how you can tell that they do it really well? At the end of each play, when you click off the frame, count the number of guys that are around the ball carrier. It's always 7, 8, 9 guys. They get to him each and every play.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing before 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
A look at the numbers from last week for Olsen. 5 catches, 51 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Set. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Off the play fake. Yoder. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Yoder. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Set. Green 19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And it's a big play there on third down, but with the marker on the field, I don't think it's going to hold. Let's see. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Bears take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there, 84 yards. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 10-7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
Let's go! Blue line!
And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down at 4 now.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Hurry up, here we go!
They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
To throw on second down. Yoder. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they try the right side here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Let's go. Blue landed.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go. Blue landed.
Looking to throw. Well, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it. Blue.
Looking to throw. Yoder. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The Bears on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Operating from the gun. Yoder. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Off play action. Yoder. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Yoder. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught.
Holding offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead in that one. The Seahawks looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we head up to our nation's capital and check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Saquon Barkley, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And they'll run it here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green,
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
They're going to look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Off play action. Yoder finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and man?
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Lions have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
His throw incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. You never want to give them a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one is right down the middle. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. And they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
On 1st down, Yoder throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. Yoder. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
From the gun, Yoder. And Olsen over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Yoder. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's brought down. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Operating from the gun. Yoder. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal. You did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker
Personal
down.
foul.
Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Back to throw now on 1st down. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment. Defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape.
Now let's go. Green 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, this from 46. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
319! 319!
On 1st and 10, Yoder is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Set! 319! 319!
Looking to throw. Yoder. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Here we go now. Green 39.
From the gun, Yoder. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here comes the Lions punter now. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Returnable here from the 38. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Yoder. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are an extra point away from taking the lead in this game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now for the point after. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Blue, landed.
They'll set up a throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing on first down. Yoder. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Yoder throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Four down. Here we go now.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at about the 43. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. He's back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now let's go!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. But he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case. And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Bears, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.